Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to this really exciting episode of The Public Affair. I feel like I gotta reline my glasses. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the show. I'm really excited to be doing this episode. I feel like it's very necessary and we all really need to hear it. And before we get started, I definitely want to thank you guys for all the love and support of The Public Affair with over 1,000 subscribers in just a little bit over a year. And of course to Rogue Media Network with Mike Hamilton for being the mastermind of editing and producing and everything. You're the best. And of course to everybody who supports the show, my love is just eternal for all of you. Thank you guys so much. Before we get started with this really great episode, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to you by Four Brothers Construction with my boy Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on roofing, remodeling, renovations, plumbing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. Joe has a whole entire team of snacks to provide all these services for you. So if you guys need any of those services done, you're definitely going to call Joe Olvera with Four Brothers Construction. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Frank Biza with B&J Refinishing. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. Offers 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. And of course, Frank doesn't stop there, like I say in like the last 50-something episodes of The Public Affair. Frank also has Cotown Tint with a mobile tint and detailing business that offers the best high-quality film and products and will be all competitive prices. There is nothing I love more than being at work and I'm busy and I don't have time to go get my car detailed. All you gotta do is call Frank with Cotown Tint and he'll come pick it up for you, detail it to make it look all snackish, and then bring it back to you. It's like a whole vibe. I love it so much. Frank, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair with B&J Refinishing and Cotown Tint. You hustler! I'll say it again until I die, because he is. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Of course, the Pollo Box and Audio with my boy Jeffrey Monreal. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. Jeffrey is definitely a jack of all trades. He's given me so many awesome features in my car, like Apple Play car stereo, like backup camera, like auto start, which is a game changer in this freaking heat, man. I love some Pollo Box and Audio, and he's full-time with it now. I'm very proud of Jeffrey Monreal. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the David Santabanez, the #1 sales agent at Alinea Real Estate. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea, or call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. Every time I turn around, David is selling a home left and right because he's very professional, because he's very punctual, and because he's just the go. I love me some David Santabanez. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Marco Scodetta with Midway Nutrition. He's located on Hewitt Drive. He offers meal replacement shakes with tons of different flavors. Of course, my favorite is the Honey Nut Cheerio, but there's so many more that he's got that's just so delicious and scrumptious. So if you're looking for a little bit more of a healthier meal replacement, you're definitely going to hit up my boy Marco Scodetta with Midway Nutrition, located on Hewitt Drive. They also have Waco Nutrition and Energy on Spates. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Sid Rodriguez at Elite Barbershop, located on Hewitt Drive. Make sure you guys download the Cut app or call the number on the screen to book. I got my hair appointment coming this weekend. We had to, due to the circumstances, we had to record this episode a little bit earlier in the week, and I'll tell you guys in a minute. But excuse me, they've made me for over 65 episodes of the show. Make me look like an entire snack, and I love it. Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, D-Rod, and Sid Rodriguez. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode with Elite Barbershop. And of course to the queen, Miss Kaylin Flores will Elevate Waco, Waco's newest premier shop, selling nothing but the best. Elevate is proud to bring you all of a one-of-a-kind attire and the most exotic merchandise on the market. They guarantee all gas and no breaks. Congratulations, Kaylin, to your new location on West Waco Drive. I love going over there, getting Silly Buns, his CBD pens. I love getting my exotic snacks. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. More to come later. All right, guys. So like I said, I'm really excited to be recording this episode of The Public Affair. I've got this queen on the show. A lot of people have been hitting me up and telling me to invite her on the show. I've been watching her build her business up from the ground. I love it. I'm here for it. When I invited her onto the show, she was more than happy to come. She's visiting us from Dallas, Waco native, but she lives in Dallas now. Here representing CTX Credit Repair, I got my girl, Christina Martinez, on this episode of The Public Affair. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
You drove all the way from Dallas to tell us that we're all broke, girl.
No, I did not.
That we're all broke and that we don't know what we're doing.
I did not.
No, you didn't. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Yes, I wore my business attire for you, and I regret it because I'm sweating like a pig now. So I'm going to actually stop taking a sip of my wine over my shirt a little bit. No, but thank you again for being here. You know what? I've been watching you build CTX Credit Repair for such a long time. And, to watch you build it from the ground up, and one of my really good friends, Lee Vensis, who I believe is your cousin, he was one of the people that told me a little bit about you and your background. And, when Lee tells me to do something, I just do it. So, yeah, I'm not right. No, but yeah, so many people were like, hey, have you heard about this girl, Christina Martinez? I was like, okay, give me a minute. Damn. You know what I mean? So introduce yourself to us, please. Like, who are you? Why has everybody just been in my DMs begging me to invite you on the show?
Well, my name is Christina Martinez, like you said. I am from Waco. I moved to Dallas when I was like 15 years old.
Okay.
And pretty much I did start CTX Credit Repair here in Waco first just because it is my hometown.
Right.
And I did a lot of research in this community, and I'm like, this is what Waco needs. They need help with, people need help fixing their credit.
Right.
So I did my research, and I said, you know what? This is going to be my first stop, and that's exactly what I did. People thought I was crazy, but I'm like, hey, this is where it needs to be.
Well, and you know what? I see it so much on social media. A lot of us don't really, we're not taught about credit growing up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a nerd, so I just kind of researched credit on my own. You know what I mean? Because I had no friends. But back in the day, now but a lot of people are not educated when it comes to credit and stuff like that. And there's people that are older than us that kind of don't got it together. Like, we were just talking outside, and Corey was just saying how his credit's like 550 something. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But not to put his business out there. But he said it was okay. So, before we get into all that, though, can you talk to us a little bit about your life growing up? So you said you moved to Dallas when you were 15.
Yeah, so just to give you a background about me. So I was a teen mom. I had my first kid at 15.
Oh.
So had to grow up quick. And I did face a lot of hardships. I faced a lot of struggles growing up as far as on my own choices that I made.
Right.
So
now, when you say on your own choices, were you being slutatious, or were you just being single mom?
Not slutatious, definitely just being real rebellious.
Okay.
I was a really rebellious kid growing up, so I just got into stuff that I shouldn't have, and so I ended up pregnant at 15.
There you go.
So I had to grow up quick. So I did face a lot of struggles with that, of course, and so when I got to an age where I was just like, you know what. I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be somebody who actually makes a difference. I don't want teen moms to feel like this is, this is it. So I was in a very, very toxic relationship for like 10 years. And it was very, very hard. It was abusive. It was everything that you could think of I went through. So I just said, you know what, there's more to my life than this. And I was like, I have to find a way. I have to. So I just really found the motivation in me to be my own boss. I did do, like I was telling you before, I was a nurse recruiter supervisor for 3 to 4 years, but I've been in the home health field for a long time. And so from going to that to this, it was like a whole different world. But
yeah, for sure.
I don't regret it, not one bit.
No, good, don't.
Not one bit.
You know what? When you talked about some of the hardships that you faced as a teen mom, I've had a lot of girls on the show. Not a lot. I mean, I've had women on the show. Talk about their hardships. My last being Ashley Ledesma, who received very, very positive feedback from that episode. You being pregnant at 15, were your parents? I mean, because you said that you were rebellious. Did they kind of throw you to the wolves, or how did that work out?
You know what? Actually. I don't want to say that they throw me to the wolves, but I was so stubborn. I was a very stubborn kid. So my mom and my dad have always been my biggest supporters.
Right.
Even now, they're my biggest supporters.
Okay.
But there was a time that mom and dad were like, you know what? You need to figure it out on your own.
Right. And I feel like parents should draw the line at a certain point.
Right.
Like, I really do, because I feel like a lot of parents enable their children.
They do.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, they just kind of let them get away with whatever they want. Then they grow up to be losers with bad credit. So, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I guess for you, I mean, it was a little bit of a different situation.
Definitely. And my mom and my dad, they've always been hard workers. They,
Right.
you know, do what they got to do. And so, you know, there did come a day that they were like, you know what, you need to figure it out on your own. And I kind of do thank them for it, because I'm like, that's what made me who I am today.
Right.
Because I was like, well, you know what? I don't have my mom. I don't have my dad.
Right.
I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's exactly what I did. And I just, ever since I left that abusive relationship, ever since I just really self-motivated. I'm just a self-motivated person.
Right.
I just did what I had to do, and I started motivating other women.
Yeah.
And my DMs have been crazy.
Oh, really?
With women.
With women?
Just reaching out. Just, you know, they've seen my journey, because a lot of people have been friends with me for years and years, and so they just see my journey, and they're like, you know, you really motivated me to leave this or to do this and to do that, and that, to me, that is enough to make me.
Totally. I get you. You know, you're talking about being in I want to touch on this a little bit, because I always feel like it's so important. You were saying that you were in a toxic relationship. Was this with your baby's daddy, or were you in one of those like teen pregnancies where they up and left you?
This is with the baby daddy. So I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So my first 3 kids, that was my first real serious relationship.
Yes.
And so that's who that was with. And
okay.
So it was, I was with him since I was 15 all the way to about 24 years of age.
When you say abusive, do you mean like he was like beating on you, or was it just like more mentally abusive? Or?
Definitely physically, mentally.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said. Every which way you could think about.
Like since you were 15 though, or?
Probably it started like when I was like 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was really tough. And it's something that I do talk about. I'm very vocal just because I like to be honest with people. That's what I went through. And that's just what it is.
So you're in this relationship, and then you're 15 years old, so you really don't have a lot of direction because you're also rebellious, and then you just have a baby. What would you say the source of it was? Like, I mean, what was maybe the stress of being? Was he older, or was he about your age? Or?
No, actually, he was just about a year and a half older.
Okay, so would you say it was the stress of being a parent, or do you think he had like some internal issues? Like,
definitely internal issues.
Okay,
definitely. And so, and you see, the thing with me is I have a big heart, so I would always try to look past it, and I just kind of tolerated it more than I really needed to.
I always wonder what it is about people that find themselves just tolerating it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like what's going through your mind? I mean, are you just making excuses for him and saying, you know, oh, he's going to change?
No, for sure. I think what it is, you're so caught up in the life that you're living. Like when you're actually in a relationship like that, you don't see that. But when you're out of it and you've actually like healed and you're actually doing stuff and you see other people going through it, that's when you're like, oh, damn, that was me and I was done.
Right. So, I mean, like, so when you say the life that you were living, I mean, surely at the teenagers, you guys weren't living like some glamorous life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what would you say the source of it was at all? I mean, you said that he was dealing with some internal issues. Did he drink and stuff like that? Do you think that was triggers?
As we got older, yeah. So as we got older, he definitely started drinking a lot, of course. And then
some people just can't drink. Okay, I say that all the time. Nobody listens to me.
Yeah. So he just started drinking. Just really cheating, stuff that men do.
Roaches.
Exactly. Yeah. So, he just started.
And then he's cheating and it's your fault.
Exactly.
And then they leave you a deck of magic cards and tell you thanks for the good night.
Exactly.
Sorry, I started having flashbacks.
It was a lot of that. And so, I really truly just woke up one day and I was like, fuck this.
So you were just done.
Yeah. And I just.
Did it ever happen in front of you? Because I talked about this with Ashley Ledesma, and she was saying that it got to the point where her and him just started throwing hands like two grown ass men. But she said that it was only, I believe, don't quote me on this, I would believe only one time it almost might have happened in front of one of her kids. And then she said that she kind of just conditioned herself to where it was just going to happen in the bedroom because it's going to happen anyway. So let's just do it discreetly. How would you say yours was like exposed?
Definitely a lot behind closed doors.
Okay.
Probably same as her, one time in front of my kids. But more than anything, he just had this, this persona where people didn't really think that he was like that. But most definitely it was a lot behind closed doors. And a lot of people did not know that I went through that.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Like, how do you even keep that a secret? Because I mean,
honestly, I really truly just shut out the world. Like I went MIA on a lot of people.
Did you?
And so, when I left him and I started kind of, doing my own thing and I started working and that's when I really became this social butterfly.
Yeah.
Just,
well, you found yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I'm grateful. I'm so happy that I am where I am right now.
Right, for sure. No, I got you. Okay, so, and just, so we don't have to harp on it too much because, there's so much I want to talk to you about your credit. But, I guess what was the turning point for you being in that abusive relationship where you just kind of got up and, was it something that you got up and snuck out in the middle of the night, or did you have a talk with him and say, hey, we're done?
So it was towards the end. So I just had my third baby, which we've had 3 kids.
You guys have three kids. Okay.
Yeah. So I had my third baby, and my baby was 3 months actually. And at the time, his drinking, and I'm pretty sure he started doing drugs.
Right.
Got worse.
Allegedly.
So right.
Please, I don't want to be sued. Please.
Allegedly. I'm sorry.
Allegedly.
And so there was just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I just knew that was it.
And bitches all around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, and I truly did. I woke up one day and I said, I'm done.
Okay.
And I'm done. And he thought I was playing, but I'm like, no, I'm really truly done.
Okay. Now, did he hit you and then you were done, or did you just wake up and say, I'm
at that point, actually, I don't even think we were even physically fighting anymore. Okay. I was just mentally checked out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think a lot of people don't see the mental abuse that comes with it as well, and how it affects you as a person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've talked about, I was never in an abusive relationship, but I was definitely involved in a situation with a close friend of mine where he, used drugs and turned to drinking a lot and stuff, and me trying to help him as his friend and then not being able to, and then you feel like it's your fault. Yeah. Like I never understood how people let somebody else affected their life until I was in that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I remember checking out and everybody's like, Andrew, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I was like, just don't fucking talk to me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So for you, just scoop up the kids and you take off.
Well, actually, I told him to leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
He left.
He just peaced out?
He left, but see, he thought I was playing.
Okay, I got you.
So, I was like, no, I'm really, truly done. And just never came back.
Right. How did you find forgiveness in that situation, Christina?
I did.
Okay.
It did take me a long time, though.
Like how? And have you talked to him?
Yeah, I think it was about a year or two after.
Okay.
That I told him, because I had to heal myself. I said, you know what? I forgive you for everything you did to me.
Okay.
And I have to say this to you so that I can truly move on with my life and be, do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have found forgiveness. I'm glad to say that I'm able to just live my life and not have to worry about anything.
Right. But did you have like one final conversation with him before moving on? Like, or after moving on, like when you found the forgiveness, like, how are you guys now, I guess, like your relationship? Because he is the father of your children.
Yeah, right now, I don't speak in terms.
Okay, you're not speaking. Yeah. I got you. And as long as he's not putting hands on the kids, then we good. Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, okay, well, again, I think it is important, and thank you for sharing that with us, because, I think it is important for people to, do that.
Sure,
so, yeah.
For sure.
So I definitely want to talk to you about, becoming a credit repair specialist and what your inspiration was behind that. So when I was talking to my really good friend, Lee, he was telling me how you kind of had just, don't look at me like you were just friends. He's my homie. That's my boy right there. She's looking at like he's like side piece and he's not. Okay, when I was talking to him about it, he was telling me that, Christina like had kind of lost it all at one point, and she was at rock bottom, and then all of a sudden you're like, can you walk me through the journey of becoming what you are today?
Yeah. So, and I actually do love and enjoy talking about this.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
At some point, I really truly was at rock bottom. I had nothing. Like I went through it. That's why I said I went through a lot of struggles. I went through the no lights and barely making it to pay, to get some food and things like that. And so.
And 4 kids.
Yeah. And at the time it was 3.
3. Okay.
So, and I just, like I said one day, you know what? I need to find a good job. I need to do this. And so my journey to where I am today is that I landed my first job in a corporate setting.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started, I did pediatric home health. So I was hiring nurses. I networked a lot with nurses. I met a lot of great people along the corporate world. And then I got the opportunity to be a supervisor.
Oh, okay.
So I met some really great people there. Shout out to my boss, Toby.
Yeah, what's up, Toby?
Oh, boss, Toby. And so yeah, he really taught me a lot about business. Okay. And I helped them open up their business. So I just kind of saw how everything was. And so I was laid off right before COVID. I was laid off. And so I just started to I did a cleaning business.
Right.
And so me and my mom got together and we started promoting this cleaning business, and it really took off in Dallas.
Okay.
So I met a lot of realtors along the way.
Right.
So I already kind of had a little taste of how to run a business.
Totally.
And then as far as credit repair goes, I had met this girl in Dallas. She has a credit repair company, and she had told me a little bit about it and how the business works. And of course, at the time, I was working on my credit, and I had another different company working on it. And so she just told me a little bit about it, and I started doing my own research, and I learned about it, and I did research. I did courses. I talked to people who are in the industry already.
Okay.
And I just registered the business, and that's what I did.
And that's what you did. I never understood how somebody else can fix your credit. Because I always thought that was just kind of something you did on your own. Like, I've never had anybody else like put hands on my credit, and I actually have really good credit, which I'm very grateful for. But what do you do to fix? Like, how do you specialize?
So this is what I tell everybody. So what I tell everyone is pretty much, you get into a bind where you end up, hey, late payments, you have collections, you have things that obviously you fell behind on.
Right.
So what we help you do is we help you try and get those off of your credit report, because that is what's affecting your credit.
Right, totally.
So what happens a lot of times is people are like, well, I'm just going to pay off this collection because it's like $200 or $300, but you could easily see if they made any errors when they're reporting that account and get it deleted. So what I really try to do is save people money, and it works because I show results.
Yeah.
So but my biggest thing, I don't really even like to. So if you notice, I don't really advertise a lot of the deletions. I advertise more of credit education, because that's the part where people get lost.
Okay.
So,
can you elaborate on that? Because now I'm lost.
so typically when I get on the phone with somebody, they're like, well, my credit's messed up and I don't know what to do, and I've just been stuck here. I don't know what to do. And so a lot of it is just rebuilding up your credit. You're going to have to get some secured credit cards. You're going to have to start building up positive credit history. And that's where I come in and educate them. Look, these are the cards that you need to go and apply for. They're going to actually help you build up your credit. So it's a lot of credit education. Yeah.
And I tell this to a lot of people. That's how I built my credit too, was I got like a cheapy little credit card, like Discover, shout out Discover. And I always tell everybody, like, when you want to do it, because I had no credit and then I got credit. It was like great. And so I would just tell everybody, like, get you, and correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? Because you're the specialist and I'm not, I'm the public affair. So, I talk about like men and stuff. So I got my credit card and I would only buy gas, like something I knew that I can afford, then just pay it off like 2 days later. And people thought I was crazy because they're like, well, why are you doing it that way? I was like, because you're supposed to show that you could pay back a loan. You know what I mean?
So typically I just tell everyone, you're going to get your secured credit card. You're going to, like you said, use it for gas, whatever, lunch. Okay, pay it back. And then don't use that card anymore until after, your due date goes by, and then go ahead and, but you want to the key is keep your credit utilization low, not max out your credit cards.
Right. Oh yeah, because that's another thing too. Like, I remember reading up on it and saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is it like you can't spend more than 30% of your total spending limit or something like that? And it's because I think I don't want to tell the story. I'm sorry. That's inappropriate. I'll tell you why later. But I think where a lot of people mess up is because you get a credit card, right? And like my first credit card, I think my spending limit was like $1,250. Okay. So it's some people hear that somebody's giving them $1,250.
Exactly.
And then go spend it on whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And you're maxing it out.
And then you're maxing it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I tell everybody is you could easily get a $1,000 credit card, but can you pay those $1,000 back right away before the next?
No.
So
that's why you have to ask them for
it. So that's exactly why you want to keep your credit. Use what you can pay back. Okay. Pretty much.
What inspired you, I guess, to tell people that they're broke and they don't have no credit? Like
I definitely don't tell people they're broke.
I know. But like, what made you like wake up one day? Because I know you said that you met a girl, and so why?
Well,
like, you know what I mean?
So for me, more so than anything, it's because that's me. I've been there. I've been the single mom with bad credit. It took me almost 2-3 years to fix my own credit.
Oh,
so
really?
I know the journey that people go on, and I know it's frustrating, and I know how many times you may want to throw in the towel.
Okay.
So that's what really truly inspired me. Is I know there's people out there feeling the same way I was feeling. So that's exactly what I did.
No, okay, yeah. So you know what? You strike me as the type of person that just kind of likes to help people.
I do.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Which I totally. Yeah. What's the biggest mistake a person makes for not building credit? Like why don't people eventually run into that?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
When it comes to that, I think what people make a big mistake on is they just feel like, okay, I have bad credit, so I'm just going to leave it alone for 7 years until.
But how do you go from not having any to bad? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about those who don't have any credit at all?
Yeah, because there's people who that are older than me, like don't have credit, so you can't go get a car. You have to go buy like a cash car. You know what I mean?
The thing is, they don't even do the research to see how to even start credit.
So they might just assume that they have.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, or they just don't know what they don't know, and
Right. And why do you think that people don't reach out for the resources to get help with that?
To be honest with you, when it comes to credit repair, a lot of people think it doesn't work.
Okay.
And I'm just being real.
No, yeah. So elaborate on that. Why? Have people doubted you?
I actually have not been doubted. Oh, I think it's because of who I am. But no, I'm just kidding. But I think what it is because I will say there is a lot of companies who have scammed people out of money. And so it's very unfortunate because I do feel like I have to kind of prove myself because one thing about me is I try to keep it very real.
Totally, yeah.
And so I would never want to do that. So I think that's the reason why people don't reach out is because they feel like, I don't know, is she being for real or is she really going to help me?
When you say that companies are no, because I don't know. So when you say that they're known for like scamming people, how does that happen? Or
they pretty much tell them a good story and say, I'm going to do this, this, and that. And it's $1,500 and they pay it and then they never see them again.
Oh, really?
So, and it happens a lot.
Does that come mainly from like independent credit repair people or is that like big corporations?
Big corporations.
Really?
I've heard it from every which way.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So what different, like, how do you not do that?
Well, first off, I don't think my fees are as high as other people. Okay. I do definitely try to keep it affordable for everybody because I definitely, you're trying to get back on, right terms or whatever. But I think the reason why I'm so different is because I'm really honest with people. If I tell them this is not going to come off,
right,
or if I'm just really real with them,
right?
So,
yeah.
I think that's why I really have had a good feedback here in Waco.
Yeah. So have you faced backlash? I guess like if somebody reached out to you and said, "Hey, help me fix my credit," and then maybe you ran into the situation where there's nothing I can do for you. Do you know what I mean? Is there credit that's unfixable?
No.
No, okay. But have you had what's the hardest situation that you've been in where you're just kind of like, oh no, like this isn't gonna work?
You know what?
Susie.
Thankfully, I haven't been in that situation. I have been in situations where they don't need credit repair; they just need to build up their credit.
Right.
And I just tell them, hey, this is what you need to do.
Okay. You know what? Can we talk about how people can start building? Okay, so like I said, I got a credit card. Are there any other options or avenues that people can go to start building credit?
There is, but my biggest suggestion is going to be for you to start with, like you said, like Discover, Capital One. Those are the main two that for sure I always recommend. And really, that's really the first main place that I tell everybody. Start there and then watch everything else unfold.
Yeah, because I was going to say, are there places that don't give people, what about the person that just can't get a credit card? Do you know what I mean?
So those who don't have any credit, right? Are you talking about those who don't?
Yeah, but because I didn't have any credit when I called Discover and they gave me a credit card. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's kind of different, but I've had people come to me, they don't have any credit. And so they're like, what do I do to start building up my credit? You go and you get a secured credit card, what a secured credit card is, you're paying the deposit on that card. So that's your credit limit, and that you're going to act like that's your credit card. Once they can trust you, then they're going to up your limits and things like that.
So it's kind of like I have $200. Okay, so I'm going to give you a $200, like $200 in the form of credit.
And you're going to put it on this card.
Okay.
And so you're going to
that's my spending limit.
Exactly.
Oh, they do that? I didn't know they did that.
Yes.
Where do they do that at?
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of secured credit cards out there. And so that's typically the first suggestion that I make to everybody.
So people can, because you know what? Because no, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I had a friend that I was helping him. You know what? Hold on. I had a friend that I was helping him apply for a credit card, and he didn't have any credit, and they denied him, and I was like, I don't know what to do next for you. You know what I mean? And
definitely. So if you don't have any credit and you're getting denied everywhere, it's because you don't have any credit. Right. You need to start with the secured credit card.
And so banks will do that for you, your bank.
So if you have an immediate a bank or credit union, ask them first if they have a secured credit card. If not, go to Discover or Capital One.
Yeah. Does that is that a flight risk for banks and stuff like that though? Are most on board with that?
Oh yeah, for sure, because they're helping you build up your credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess you know what, as far as like interest fees and stuff like that go, do you specialize in that as well? Or
it just depends on the card. I don't mind whenever they apply for cards. I don't mind going over the terms with the client depending on what it is, things like that. But other than that, with secured credit cards, you're looking at a little bit of high interest fees.
No, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, so you know what, Christina, pretend I'm a person with shitty credit. Okay, Christina has shitty credit. Where are we starting?
So first I need to look at your credit report.
Okay, so my credit report, it says that my credit is a 400.
Okay, so then we're going to need to start doing a lot of credit building. Okay. So you're going to go and get 2 secured credit cards. Okay. You're going to probably, if you don't have an installment loan, which an installment loan typically is either a student loan, a personal loan, if you don't, or auto loan. If you don't have any of those, you need to get one of those.
Okay.
The key here is that you want to have a good credit mix. That makes you have a good, strong credit profile.
Like a credit mix, like how? Like,
credit mix means like you have 2 or 3 revolving credit lines and 2 installment loans. That's considered a good credit mix.
Okay, so I'm trying to get my credit to the 800s, okay?
Okay.
I'll just share that my credit score is a perfect 777 as of just yesterday. And because I checked because I knew you were coming on the show. I was almost there at one point, okay? Mm-hmm. And I can't get it to the 800s. Christina, what's going on here?
What, is your credit utilization low?
Meaning what?
Like, are you using your credit cards above 30%?
No.
No.
Do I need to be?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to say how much the spending limit is on here because I don't get robbed, but it's quite high and it's not that much. Like, I don't owe that much on it.
You're using them?
I have one. Okay, so here's the thing. I have one dedicated credit card that I use, my Chase Freedom card. Mm-hmm. I use that card like in case of emergencies or if I'm running, low on the checking account. I'm not rich yet. So, we all go through that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm into that. Anyway, I have one like designated like go-to credit card, which is my Chase Freedom. I also have a Discover card that's like, it's rainbow colors, actually kind of cute. I kind of only use that one every once in a while just so that way they don't turn it off because I kind of feel like I have loyalty to them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One time I applied for a GameStop credit card just for shits and giggles, just to show somebody that I could do it so they could shut the fuck up. And then I never used it and they closed it. God, what else do I have? I have the Chase Freedom. I have the Discover. I think that's all I have. And I don't owe anything on Discover. Okay. Like I know there's a spending
Do you
limit.
have an auto loan?
No, I paid my car off. It just needs a paint job.
Okay. So more than likely you're going to you need to add.
I need to get another credit line.
Yeah, you need to add another, you have 2 to 3 revolving credit lines, right?
I have 2 credit lines as of right now.
You need to add like an installment loan.
Okay,
so
what is that?
Installment loan is like pretty much you're like on a fixed like 12 months, you're paying maybe $40 a month.
Really?
And so like a personal loan, like I said, personal loan.
No, you're saying go to Home Zone and buy new furniture is what you're saying.
No, let's do, have you heard of Self-Lender?
No.
So Self-Lender is a really good tool to credit build.
Okay.
So I would recommend you to that one. I wouldn't want you to go get furniture or anything like that because sometimes those interest fees and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's gonna pay 12 months. I want new cute furniture, Christina.
But yeah, if it's an installment, you need to add an installment loan.
Okay, I got
or
you.
you just need to add some more credit.
Well, yeah. Well, hold on, because then the Home Zone card kind of counts as a credit card, I think, though. No?
I wouldn't know. I don't know how they do their.
Yeah, okay. It's with Synergy Bank. I don't know. I really don't know if I can Christina. I just want my credit to be.
Yeah, it depends. I have to look at your credit profile. Yeah.
So if I go buy my Chateau, right? Okay, so here's the thing. When I paid off my car, I thought that it was going to take my credit straight to 800. Like, I thought they were going to be like, oh, yeah, he paid it off.
It lowered it.
It lowered it a little bit. It did. And I was like, eh. You know what I mean? One time that shit went to the 600s, I almost started crying. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'm not going to fucking lie. You want to know what it was? Because one of my really good friends, I helped her get cable a long time ago. And then we didn't pay it.
Oh, no.
Then it went to fucking collections. And then, is it true that those fall off after 7 years?
It is true, but some don't.
I was going to say, you probably don't advise waiting 7 years for that to fall off, right? Like, you should just go pay. And I was being petty, too. That shit was like $100.
But, and the thing is, as I've been doing my research, you hear 7 years, but some things are still on there.
Okay.
So, but I would have to look at your credit profile to really tell you.
Yeah, I really just want to get to the 800 so I can start eating at 135.
You're almost there, though.
No, I am almost there. I can't get there. I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like I'm at I'm climbing the mountain, right? And there's a hot man up there. Mm-hmm. And then I just can't reach the man. And he's like laughing at me like, huh, you can't because you're fat.
Don't give up, though. You're almost there.
No, but I'm still single.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, wait, no, back to the, okay, so if I buy my Chateau, right? Because me and David are looking for my Chateau. Mm-hmm. Shout out David Sandovalles. And so, if I do the loan and I take that loan, does it affect my credit negatively or positively or
what kind of loan is it?
So it's a homeowner's loan. I guess first time homeowners. I don't know.
I mean, anytime you go apply for new credit, it's gonna maybe kick your scores down a little bit.
So he did check my credit score and it did knock it down just like a tad. It was like a tad. It was like, oh, what the fuck, you know what I mean? But so when I do take out that loan, I'm paying on my house. Does it affect negatively when I miss a payment or if the house gets like repossessed?
Yeah, definitely.
Or like if I'm paying on it. Like, does it affect my credit regardless? Do you know what I mean?
No. I mean, any late payment, you definitely don't want to do that.
Okay.
I tell everybody, pay your bills on time. If anything, pay them before. And so, yeah, definitely don't pay your bills late.
No, I don't. I just, one time I paid my internet late and that was embarrassing calling them.
Can you connect me back up?
Like, it gave you the fucking red numbers talking about negative and shit. I was like,
yep.
You know what, Christina? When is the best time to start building credit?
I mean, when you turn 18, that's when you really technically can start building up your credit. A lot of people don't know that if like your parents have good credit, they can add you as an authorized user if you have good credit, and you're kind of like piggybacking off of their credit scores. So, but I mean, if you're 18 and you want to start building up at that, it's really good to have a long credit age. I will tell you that. So the sooner that you can, which is 18, the better, but make sure that you're taking care of it.
Yeah, I would definitely say I was in my early 20s when I started.
Yeah.
You know, why don't they teach us credit about like when we're growing up in school and stuff like that? Like what's going on here? I feel like that's a really vital thing because like we can't buy houses. We can't buy brand new nice cars without credit. Why is that something that, do you think the education system is at fault for that? Or like,
I do. It's kind of,
is?
I don't know who to blame, but I definitely feel like they should have it in schools for sure, because there is a lot of people that come out of high school and they, they're like, they do get credit and then they mess it up at an early age, right? Because they don't know how to use it, right? So definitely somebody needs to add schools, come on, what's up? I know they have a lot going on right now too, but anyway, how did you go about building your rep as a credit repair specialist? Like, I mean, because obviously it's not like you just started and everybody was like, hey, like, how did you manage to get your first client to trust you and say, hey, this is my first time, but I got you? You know what? I will say that I feel like I've built enough strong networking, enough networking with people that people trust me. Okay. So a lot of my clients came from word of mouth. Oh, and really? So it's like, hey, go to this girl, like she knows what she's doing, right. Or, I can trust her. Okay. So a lot of it is trust. Yeah. People trust me. And that to me is very important, because if you're trusting me with your credit, your socials, everything, then, that's a big thing. So I just started promoting a lot on social media. Right. Yeah, you do. And I'm a big Latino supporter. So I feel like that really attracted people too, because I've had people message me and say, I love what you're doing in the Latino community. Okay. And so I just pushed a lot. I pushed it because I feel like us Latinos, we weren't really taught about that. Yeah. And I think that can go the same for anybody, like no matter what the gender is, or the race is. But, I could see that you have a lot of self-confidence. I could definitely read that about you, which I really like. How do you not get misconstrued as a bitch? Because I feel like people do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like people, no, she's a bitch. Like fuck her. Like, you know what I mean? Like how do you not maintain that image? You know what I mean? Like do people ever misconstrue you as that? Yes. Okay. They do, and I don't know. I just break the ice. I mean, I feel like I'm cool as fuck. But no, yeah, you are cool as fuck. I like you. But I just like meeting new people. Okay. I just feel like if you don't network, you never know. You may open a door that will take you to places you've never thought of. So, do you think your high confidence came from a lot of the turmoil that you went through back in the day? Most definitely. Yeah. It took me years to get where I am right now. Really? As far as confidence, because if you met me 8 years ago, no way I would be sitting here. Yeah. No, but a lot of people will say that, oh, she's a bitch, she's stuck up. But like, I think I've been through my fair share of shit too, like as an adolescent and, growing up in my early adulthood. And I've got this, I walk around with the poise, you know what I mean? Because I'm proud of myself, damn it. And if nobody else is going to be proud of me, I want to be proud of me too. Exactly. You know what I mean? So have you had to deal with any, like, I guess kind of competition? Like has anybody else tried to like steal your thunder? I don't feel like I really don't pay attention. Okay. I just try to do what I do. I kind of stay in my own lane, do what I have to do. Yeah. There is just mind your business. Yeah. There has been people that I feel like maybe look at me like, oh, but I'm like, I don't care. I do what I have to do. I help people, and that's what I wake up every day to do. Okay. I got you. You know what? Just to touch a little bit more on the credit, I've been wanting to ask this question. Can somebody manage their whole life without having any credit? Do you think it makes life harder for you, or because there's people who do it, but like, you know what I mean? People probably, I mean, they could, but it'd probably be really hard. I mean, to buy a home, they're running your credit. To buy a nice car, they're going to run your credit. So then you're constantly having to depend on somebody else that has really good credit. Exactly. Yeah, for sure. No, I got you. Mm-hmm. And what, just as far as the credit score like scale goes, what's good credit and what's bad credit? So good credit, you're at like above 670, 680. Bad credit, you're like 300s, 400s. So yeah. And people get there, but I don't want people to feel embarrassed when they call me. And I tell everybody, don't be embarrassed. Hey, it happens to some of us. Absolutely. Just as long as you're on this phone call and you're trying to fix it, that's the main thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You know what? So people can you live in Dallas, but you come to Waco often. How can people get a hold of you? Like the person watching this episode say, hey, my credit shit, I need to get that taken care of. How can they get a hold of you? So they can call. You want me to say my phone number?
Yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they can call the office. So they can actually Google CTX Credit Repair, and the number will populate. You can call us at our office, or you can text my cell phone. CTX Credit Repair on Facebook, CTX Credit on Instagram. I'm very, very social media.
Yeah, you are.
So
you stay posting.
They can find us on there. So
y'all ain't gonna miss Christina on Facebook. Okay, she's there.
And that's what's really got me to where I am. So I'm, that's the only way you can find me.
And CTX Credit Repair is yours. Is that correct? Okay, so do you have people that work for you, or is it just you?
No, it's just me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it become quite daunting, like, taking care of all that by yourself? Or?
Not really. Well, it's just me, but I do have a disputing team.
Okay.
But it's not like I don't put that out there, but it's just me that you're talking to.
What's a disputing team?
So pretty much we're working on your accounts.
Oh, like they call whoever and be like, no, you gotta delete that.
Yeah. So I have a team. Yeah.
What justifies an account being deleted off your credit?
What do you mean?
Like when you say that you can delete like a credit report.
Errors. I mean, there's a lot of errors. Yeah.
So like it's just like somebody typed that in by accident. Like, oh, they owe us money. Like,
it's more than that, but
yeah.
Pretty much. A lot of these creditors make mistakes on your credit reports. A lot of people don't pay attention to their credit reports. So that's pretty much what it is.
Okay, that's very insightful. So anybody that needs some credit repair, who's dealing with some shit credit right now, make sure you call my girl Christina Martinez, CTX Credit Repair. She's gonna take care of you. She's gorgeous, darling. She's hot. The wine is good, and she's smart. She's a boss bitch. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm here for it. You know what? You sound very busy, helping us getting out of the struggle bus. When do you find time for your personal life? I mean, what do you like to do when you're not fixing people's credit?
I'm very family oriented. So
okay.
I have 2 sisters that I'm always with. I have my kiddos that one's in sport.
Yeah.
One's in sports. And so pretty much that's what I do on my free time.
Uh-huh.
It's my life is a little
And are we
crazy.
happily married now?
I'm engaged right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
inviting myself to the wedding like I do everybody else's wedding. And if you need an MC, make sure you call me because I provide that services as well for a very low price. Anyway, you know what, Christina, am I missing anything here? I'm really grateful that you came on because I do feel like this is a conversation that we needed to hear. There's a lot of people that are not educated in credit. I didn't want you to give all your services away on the show because I really want people to reach out to you and, for those resources. What am I missing here?
You pretty much covered everything other than they can, like I said, they can find us on social media. I'm just want to really put out there that I will always keep pushing for our Latino community to be united versus against each other. And so I'm really grateful that you invited me here.
You know what? And you host a lot. I think you just invited me to an event, which, girl, I have a wedding that day. I'm so sorry I can't make it.
You're fine.
Yeah, they booked me for a host. And they paid. But you do host a lot of like events.
Yes.
What was inspired by that? Do you feel, because you know what? Hold on a second. I have a question. Because when I started the public affair, and I talked about this either on my last episode before, I always remember a lot of people in town saying that nobody supported each other. Yeah. Okay. And everybody's like, no, fuck that. Nobody wants to see you win. But I have to say, I feel the opposite. I feel like a lot of people, maybe that's just me being naive. I don't know. But I really feel like a lot of people ride for this podcast, which I'm like super.
Well, see, I was told the same thing when I was going to come down here to open up my business. But, I do that for that very reason because I'm like, no, there is people who will support you, and I feel the same way as you. I feel like I've been supported from day one too.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, and so when you host those events, showcasing these local businesses, I mean, was the inspiration, I guess, just to give them a platform?
Yeah, because a lot of small businesses sometimes we feel, like the little guy.
Yeah.
So I just want people to feel like, no, your business is important, and we see what you're doing, so keep pushing.
I have learned in this podcast the importance of the local business because this is run by local businesses. Like Literally. This podcast is sponsored by nothing but local businesses, which I'm very grateful for. And so to everybody who has even just sponsored one episode of this show, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I do. And I see, I get a chance to talk to them about a lot of the shit that they do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like behind the scenes and like how hard it is and paperwork and stuff like that. And, now I got to type invoice and shit. So like there's a lot. And what makes me really sad is because I do, as much as I was saying people ride for the public affair, I do see local businesses on my timeline specifically that kind of take each other as a joke, and I've seen people like kind of ridicule like some of my sponsors and be like, why give it that energy? Like if you don't fucking like it, move on. Like why you gotta like take the energy to bash them? You know what I mean? So have you ever had to experience something like that personally?
You know, I haven't, and if it has happened, I don't even pay attention.
You just don't even see it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's really truly why I do it. I just want everybody to stay united, because why be against each other when we can work together?
That's what I'm saying. Like, just everybody do your own thing, mind your business, go home.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm really trying, Christina, I'm trying to get laid. Like that's all I'm trying to do. How about you? But anyway, I like guys, but okay. Sorry. Anyway, that took a turn. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. Christina Martinez, thank you so much with CTX Credit Repair. I said it right. I fucked it up the first time. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for coming on to this episode of the. No, I'm really grateful. One more time, where can people find you?
They can find us on Facebook at CTX Credit Repair.
Okay, got you. And they just message you directly?
Directly, yep. Okay,
so make sure you guys hit up my girl Christina if you need some credit repair information. No, we'll talk about the fees later. Okay, right. Do you want to share the fees, or like, is it? You said it's pretty. That's more.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, thank you guys again so much for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This very special episode. Of course, before we go, I definitely want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors of The Public Affair, some of those local businesses. Of course, the Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training, and because of them, I get to shop in clearance, and I bought all this business attire on. Well, actually, I spent a lot of money, but anyway, I got to buy smaller clothes. They also offer open play on Friday nights, and they specialize in soccer training and fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez and Isaac and London Carrillo. Because of them, I've lost over 55 pounds, and I am loving it, and I feel like a whole snack. Soko Soccer Academy, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda. He provides the best micheladas and botana plates for yourself or for a party. He's locally operated. Make sure you get the best and not the rest, darling. You can also go on his Facebook page at Fat Boy Micheladas y Botana and see the whole menu that he has. Everything that he makes is delicious, and I can't wait to see him thrive. Thank you guys so much again for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. Don't forget, if you're in the Waco area during the week, you can catch me on Power 108 from Monday to Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. I'm live on the air now. That was my job. I'd love it. Okay. And thank you guys again so much for all the love and support. Again, thank you to Christina Martinez for coming in from Dallas to be on the show. I really appreciate it. Yes. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.